Hello everyone and welcome home. Surprise! I know I typically make videos on Fridays, but I wanted to try a little experiment and see how it goes. So, if you like this video and you want me to do 2 a week, please show some love and let me know in the comments below. That way I can try to work this into my schedule and see what we can keep doing. So, it's Wednesday, and that means that 3 days ago, it was Sunday, aka the premiere date for The Ones Who Live, the new Walking Dead spinoff centered around Rick and Michonne Grimes during the 6 years he was missing, as well as his mission to come home to Alexandria. This has been the most anticipated of the spin-off shows, and all I'm gonna say is the wait was absolutely worth it. And just a heads up, this review will be absolutely bursting with spoilers. So if you haven't yet, go sub to AMC Plus so you can watch episodes at 3 a.m. Sunday nights like a creature of the night. Anyway, grab your boots, get your hatchets, take a bite out of that sloppy joe because we're going to hack into The Ones Who Live episode 1, Years. This episode starts off with our man Ricky Dicky Doodog Grimes sitting in a chair contemplating the value of life when he begins to cut his own throat and stops. Must have been working on a Negan cosplay. Then, suddenly we flash back to 5 years after the bridge.
What a fucking
Where we see Rick on a night consignment mission. The job is to clear some on-fire walkers in a forest. It's here that Rick will stage his 4th escape attempt. He lets his hatchet cook in some flames, wraps a belt around his arm, and hacks his hand off. In shock, but still aware, Rick books it to his escape, but falters as he stops to cauterize the wound and is tased and taken back anyway. We're then treated to a lovely what-if dream sequence where Rick and Michonne meet in a world not torn apart by walkers. But alas, he's woken up to the real world where he has more work to do. We see Rick clearing walkers with the rest of the consignees as we meet Okafor for the first time. It's here we learn more information about Rick's past escape attempts and his plans for the future. After his job is done, he takes a seat across the river from Philadelphia where he sits with Esteban. They talk, and it's here that Esteban unknowingly gives Rick his next escape plan. Rick accepts Okafor's invitation into the CRM and is fitted with an Assassin's Creed prosthetic. I mean, just look at how fucking badass this thing looks. This thing is awesome. Anyway, he begins training to become a soldier, something I feel the CRM is going to deeply regret later on, but I guess we'll see when we get there. During this time, we learn of the fall of Omaha, which we witnessed in The World Beyond, the other Walking Dead spinoff show. Okafor also takes Rick and Pearl Thorne to the stadium where he bombed 4,000 Marines to tell them the truth about A's and B's. That A's are leaders that would die for their cause, and B's are just average Joes. And that he knows both of them are A's, but he wants to keep them around anyway in order to change things from the inside of the CRM. Rick spends an entire year playing good boy and watching and learning, and it's here that he'll meet Major General Beale and confided him how he survived. Then we see Rick approach Esteban inside the walls where he tells Rick a way to escape using a manhole. On their next night operation, Rick takes off from the group and uses a geared up walker body with his dog tags and plans to fake his own death when he's stopped by a little girl walking amongst a small horde. This causes him to save the little girl as Thorne saves him and refuses to let him leave, revealing that if he did, Okafor knows all about Rick. This causes Rick to come at Okafor in the dead of night and demand to know what he knows. Okafor tells him that he knows about Michonne and where Rick is from. This causes Rick to become infuriated until the two come to a standstill, in which Okafor tells him that they are always with him, but that his fight is here now. Thorne comes to Rick's room shortly after in order to talk to him about the little girl and how they can save the world. We also hear her backstory a little bit and how she saved Rick by not letting him go because she would have had to kill him. She then breaks his whiskey glass and leaves, saying that at least there is one more good man to save the world. This brings us back to the scene where Rick contemplates his Negan cosplay and decides not to. Wise choice, Rick? Wise choice. He then writes Michonne one last emotional letter and burns his stuff related to her. He and Thorne are tasked with spending the next year rebuilding a college campus for the frontline soldiers of the CRM. Afterwards, we are brought to the present where Rick, Okafor, and a few no-names are flying in a chopper where we get some information on Rick's past with his father and why he's been such a headstrong and good leader all these years. Okafor tells him this is why he's the one for the cause, when all of a sudden Okafor is impaled with a small bolt and then proceeds to blow up in the helicopter. After taking more fire, the helicopter falls and the guards are killed one by one as Rick crawls for his gun. He turns around and dodges a blade before being knocked down and the sword is put to his throat. His mask is pulled off and we are revealed to see Michonne pull his mask off. She yanks her helmet off and looks at him in disbelief as they see each other for the first time in almost a decade, and then the episode ends. Holy god damn. What a premiere. I haven't been this hyped for a premiere episode of The Walking Dead since Season 5, Episode 1, No Sanctuary. This show has everything you could need. Amazing performances, amazing comic nods, and Easter eggs, beautiful cinematography and sound design, and this show all around is just a mastercraft level of horror drama, and I wish The Walking Dead could have had a budget like this from the start. It's so real and raw, it feels like the same characters in an entire new world, and, well, I guess that's really what it is, and I cannot wait to see the next episode. I can't wait to see where their story leads us, and I hope we get more of Rick's past with the CRM, and just overall can really dive into the nitty-gritty of what the CRM is. And I, for one, can't wait to watch Rick and Michonne bring them to their goddamn knees. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please slash that like button, leave a sub, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future killer reviews. This is a little something new I wanted to try for the channel, especially with the Fallout and Knuckles shows right around the corner, as well as The Boys Season 4 in June. So, if you guys like these kinds of videos, please let me know in the comments below. As always, I'm your friendly neighborhood hometown killer, and I will see you soon.
I'm Andrew Lincoln, aka Ricky Dicky Doodog Rhymes.